I'm Daryl Schuster, and I'd like to explain what goes into the costs of making a degradable elemental sulfur fertilizer. So when a buyer gets our sales team on the phone, one of the first questions they ask is, what does the product cost? It's important to look beyond the cost of making a sulfur fertilizer and look at its overall value. For those of us that manufacture sulfur bentonite fertilizers, the costs are going to be very much similar on everything except for the clay cost. The clay cost is what separates us from the rest. And that is where we just will not compromise. We will only buy the best quality clays. They cost significantly more than 100% more than the cheapest quality clays. But the cheapest clays add no value at all, and so you have to buy the best clays. Some will blend a cheaper clay with a good clay, and they'll end up with what they think is adequate performance, but it significantly affects their finished product. And you will notice it in the field. You will find out about this later. If the bentonite quality is not what it should be, then what you'll find is whole pastilles of sulfur in the field that may not have degraded from last year. And if they're not going to degrade at all in the last year, then they're not ever going to degrade. That's why we test. That's why we test our competitors' products. That's why we test our own products. And that's why we test the clay suppliers frequently. We also maintain a high inventory of these clays. We draw from suppliers continuously throughout the year, even though our demand changes from time to time. So our demand may increase by 50% or decrease by 20 or 30% over the average, but we have a warehouse full of clay all the time to make sure that we don't ever end up in a situation where we have to use some local supplier of crappy clay. So essentially, when you pay a little bit extra for a premium product, your customer is going to get all of the value of that product. At the end of the day, it's important that fertilizers satisfy your bottom line and the needs of your customers. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe.